YouTube, what is y'all doing? All right, y'all, as y'all can see behind me, I got my Gs400 that I just purchased right next to my IS. So it's looking good in the garage, you know? But anyway, as promised, I told y'all we was gonna be doing our first mod in this video, in the next video, which is this video. And I'm gonna deliver on that promise. I said it was gonna be something rare. I got this piece for a really good price, way less than you would think. So some of y'all might know what this is, some of y'all might not. If not, I'll explain. It's actually in the trunk of the car, so let's go check it out. All right, so coming around to the trunk, as you can see, I got some trim pieces here. This is called Blackwood trim. This only came on the Gs400 Sport design, I believe. As you can see, it's right there. And this stuff is really hard to find. And if you do find it, usually you got people asking for absurd amounts. I've seen somebody asking for 600. I got everything here except for the shift knob, which is not a big deal right now. I'm gonna figure that out. But for the most part, you can see we got everything here. Now, when I tell y'all what I paid for this, y'all probably gonna be astonished. So I was at the junkyard one day and I came across this gray Lexus Gs300, and it was a sport design and it had these pieces in here. Now at that time, I did not have a GS at all. I think I had just sold mine. So I was like, you know, I don't have one, but I'm gonna pick this up because I might get one, or I could just sell it, you know, thinking about making some money. I almost sold this on eBay. So I kept it, and now we have both a GS and Blackwood trim. I picked this up for $10 at the junkyard for all of this. And I probably could have made a decent killing off selling it, but I decided I was gonna keep it. So today we're gonna be installing this, and I'm gonna show y'all what's currently in here. So it usually comes with this orange type, I don't know if this is oak, I don't know what type of trim this is, but this is what came in the car. And this is typically what you get when you get a GS. You see it's right here. So the center console is probably gonna be the easiest part. For the rest of the trim, the door panels have to come off and everything. But while we're in here, I wanted to go ahead and show y'all the car. I need to wash and everything, but this car is like super clean. Like, look at the seats. Like, I feel like the camera really doesn't do this car justice. So after I'm done, like putting the trim in here and everything, I'm probably gonna give it a wash and I'll take it out into the sun and let y'all really see what it looks like. So one of my plans for this car is I gotta get rid of the chrome rims. I cannot do it. They're super clean. Like, I haven't found a dent or scratch or anything on these rims. They're super clean. But I'm not a fan of the chrome look. I was telling my brother this looks like the 3.6 Mafia GS. I do believe in maintenance before modification, unless you already have the modification. So what we're doing today is installing that Blackwood trim. I also got some little LED lights I want to put on the inside because, as you can see, this is like limo tint. You can't see inside of there, so it gets really dark in that car. But anyway, I'm gonna start off with the center console and we're gonna get that installed. All right, as you can see, I got that first piece out rather quickly. There's a lot of little dust in here. It was actually this candy wrapper down there, which is pretty disgusting. So I'm probably gonna get the vacuum and vacuum some of this up. Here goes a penny. Also, if you are trying to remove trim at home, you need some of these little orange things, some type of pry tool that's not gonna damage any of your trim. So I use these little orange things. I think I got these off Amazon for less than 20 bucks. And it comes with a few of them, like there's another one in there. So if you ever gonna do this, you might want to invest in some of those. If you work on cars a lot, especially like on the inside or whatever, or do detailing, you probably need some of those. So let me vacuum all of this stuff up. So I picked up these interior LED lights that I'm gonna be installing under the dash and under the seats. And I was gonna go ahead and throw the Blackwood trim in here, but I think it's best to go ahead and route these now that I have the center console out, just so I'm not pulling it out again. So I'm gonna do that, and then we can continue with the Blackwood trim install. So now that we got that installed, before we put everything back in here, we just want to test to make sure that everything is working. So just test these buttons, and they do appear to be working. So everything appears to be working. I'm gonna continue installing this and just throw this last piece in there. All right, YouTube, not too sure how well y'all can see, but we got the Blackwood trim installed. I did put my factory IS350 shift knob on there, simply because it looks better than, I feel like the brown, the orange looking wood grain kind of clashed with it. So that's what our center control stack is looking like. Now we got to move on to the doors. This is the pain because the door panels have to come off in order to replace this piece. So I'm gonna start working on those. All right, YouTube, for the sake of time, I'm probably gonna show y'all me doing one door panel, because it's pretty straightforward on what you do. Take the door panel off. This is held in by some screws. You might have to peel back some type of like cover to get to them. And I think they're just Phillips heads and you unscrew them. I'm gonna show y'all that. But on the back of the door, on the lock, there's like these little plastic clips. I'll show y'all those. You gotta be really careful with those because they'll break and your door won't lock and unlock like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna show y'all those, but first let me get this door panel off. All right, YouTube, this is kind of hard to show, but on the back of the door panel, once you get all the screws out, you got these little plastic things right here, and they are really fragile. So when you're taking them out, just be careful with them. I'm trying to see if you actually need to take them out for this, and I think you do. So just be careful with those. You kind of want to pull them a little bit. Like these, I don't even feel comfortable pulling these because they're so stuck. So I'm probably gonna try and get the trim piece off, which is behind these 3 screws over here, without taking these out. So let me try. All right, so once you get those, there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws in the back. So once you get those off, this piece pretty much just falls off, and then you can get your other trim, and it basically just goes in like that, and you pull the panel down and just screw it back in. So that's what I'm working on. All right, Blackwood trim on this door panel is done. As you can see the difference. I prefer this over this. So I'm not gonna bore y'all with the rest. I'm gonna knock this out and I'm gonna show y'all the finished product. All right, YouTube, I am done with the wood grain trim. Every last door is complete. I gave it a little wipe down. You can see the purple lights under there. It's LED, so I can change the color. And this just looks a lot better to me. I sort of see them under that seat. But yeah, the wood grain is nice. The interior of this car is sick.
3,000 years later.
All right, YouTube, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to y'all. This video kind of got away from us. It's actually supposed to go out earlier this week, but I got caught up with work and I got excuses for days. I want to say rest in peace, Young Dolph. I did listen to his music. I wasn't like an avid listener, but I did listen to a lot of his songs. In fact, at my wedding, we were just turning up to one of his songs before the wedding. So, I mean, anytime you hear news like that, it's heartbreaking. But nonetheless, we got to continue moving, living, doing our thing. But anyway, we got all the Blackwood trim installed. I want to kind of like show y'all in the daytime where it's more light, because it was getting dark when I installed the trim pieces. So it was going to be kind of hard to see. So I was like, let me just wait till tomorrow. And then tomorrow turn into the next day and thereafter. I've done a few things to the car since installing the trim. Me and my brother, we did spark plugs on the car. I did tint my fog lights yellow. I kind of liked it over that HID, full HID look. It was just too bright to me. I would get people flashing their lights on me like my lights were too bright. But anyway, I'm gonna just take y'all around the car and just show it to y'all again. But yeah, that's about it.